been exploring some different ways to reuse pallets and turn them into some awesome, usable projects. If you want tips on taking them apart or want to check out some of my previous builds, you can check out the playlist link below. But for this one, I didn't need to break it down. Just a quick cut in half, and I already had a rough shape started for this rustic wine rack. This project can easily be made shorter or longer, but once I had the length set, I grabbed a spare board from the other half of the pallet and cut it to size to serve as the bottom of the rack. Now the whole point of this build is to get that rustic farmhouse vibe. If I didn't want that look, I would have processed the pallet wood first or used different lumber altogether, but since the goal here is that rough and rustic feel, I didn't overthink the joinery. I just used screws, plus most of this won't be seen anyways, so screws really work perfectly. With the bottom piece for the wine rack attached, I grabbed another spare board and eyeballed the spacing for the wine glasses. Then I cut a few 1-inch blocks to create a hanging section below the bottom rack for the glasses. Now to cut the notches, I drilled the center marks and cut out a channel with a jigsaw. You could also do this with a table saw, bandsaw, circular saw, handsaw, or a butter knife if you're as desperate as you are patient, but to be honest, the jigsaw was what was closest to me, so that's what I used. Since I was going for a rustic look, I only did a light sanding here, just enough to take off any sharp edges or splinters. I kept all the saw marks and other imperfections that really add character to the piece. Now once it was sanded, I attached the bottom hanging section and then it was on to the finish. Now I opted for a dark gel stain here, but obviously there are a lot of different ways you could finish this piece. I will say some of the grooves were kind of hard to reach into, so if you think ahead, unlike me, it would definitely be easier to sand and stain everything before attaching all of the pieces. Now there are a lot of different ways you could design something like this, but this is an easy way to make a functional piece from pallet lumber in just one day. If you want to follow along for more approachable builds like this, just make sure to hit that like and subscribe button below. Thanks for watching, and hey, have a swell day.